Shalom Haazinu Shin Pei Gimel. We're actually here tonight. We're going to do a shiur. Today is the day after Yom Kippur. Yom Tov of Succos is coming up in just a couple of days. You can see right here in Bikur Cholim what's going on here. The prep for Yom Tov is well underway. How many different vehicles are loading up to go to hospitals, to provide food and medical equipment for so many people in the area that need it. The place is really, really bustling here. Tremendous chesed going on just in anticipation and preparation for the Yom Tov of Succos. So that's what we're going to do with tonight's shiur. We're really going to discuss Succos tonight. And there are many mitzvahs that we do on Succos. Of course, there's the obvious. We have mitzvah sukkah, we sit in the sukkah. But then we also have the mitzvah of the arba minim. Everybody knows you get your lulav, your esrog, your hadassim, your aravois, and we have the mitzvah of daled minim. And the pasuk tells us, "Ulekachtem lochem bayoyim harishonim." You should take for yourself on the first day of Sukkos. And the pasuk ends, "Usmachtem lifnei Hashem Elokeichem." Go ahead, take the arba minim, and whatever we do with them, we put them together, the four different things, and the pasuk ends that you're going usmachtem, you're going to be happy. So it really, what it sounds like from this pasuk, it sounds like the entire purpose of taking the daled minim is to be b'simcha. And where do we ever find such a thing that the mitzvah of the daled minim is usmachtem lifnei Hashem Elokeichem? We definitely need to try to understand what the connection is between the taking the mitzvahs, the mitzvah of daled minim, and usmachtem, where you're going to be b'simcha. And also we need to understand how it connects. We know that the entire Yom Tov of Succos, the essence of the Yom Tov of Succos is, right, Zman Simchasenu. The Yom Tov of Succos is a Yom Tov of Simcha. So how does the daled minim, where the pasuk says, Usmachtem lifnei Hashem Elokeichem, where does that come into the picture? How does that fit into this joyous Yom Tov of Succos, where the entire essence of the Yom Tov is about Simcha? So the Nesivos Shalom tells us that the first thing we need to understand is, what is Simcha? What does it mean to be happy? And the Nesivos Shalom says that every person has to know and actually admit to themselves that the only real way to attain genuine simcha is to actually do away with and to shake loose of all the pursuits of hanois and taivas and everything of olam hazeh. You want to know how you're going to be happy? If you're able to shake loose the desire for all those pleasures and luxuries. Any person who is constantly pursuing the pleasures and luxuries of this world will simply never ever be happy. You're never going to be satisfied. Chazal tell us very famous Chazal in Koheles Rabbah Aleph Lamed Daled. You can look it up. Chazal tell us that Ein Adam Yoytze Mizeh Ha'olam, a person does not leave this world, V'chatzi Ta'avosav B'yodoi. People chase after taivas and wants and luxuries and more and more and more, and when you leave this world, you don't attain half of what you really want. You certainly don't take any of it with you, but you never catch up with your desires and all the things that you want to chase after. You're never going to be satisfied. There is no such thing as not wanting more. And we always want, once we have one thing, we want the next luxury. We have pleasure, we want more pleasure, we want the next pleasure. And Zok to Nesivos Shalom, watch how happy you could be when you break free of that game. When you break free of that cycle, you'll understand that you're going to be much more happy when you stop pursuing all of that. And the Bali Musar, they bring a great mashal. And this mashal is just fantastic, and it'll help you understand what we're talking about now. There was once a king that was very sick. King fell ill, and the doctors, they couldn't find a way to cure the king. They couldn't, but they finally found, and they decided that there was one thing that could make this king better. There's one thing that will heal the king. What was that thing? They told the king, you have to find the coat, the overcoat of a person who is exceedingly, exceptionally, and totally happy. You need to find a person in this world who's totally happy, and when you find that person, if you take his coat and you put it on, that's going to heal you. That's what they told the king. That's going to make you feel better. So, they're trying to find a person. All the king's servants and messengers, they fan out throughout the entire kingdom. They got to find a person with no worries in the world. And of course, who could find a person that has nothing to worry about? Who could find a person that has no worries in the world? So the servants are looking high and low, and they went from here to there. They can't find. Finally, they heard a rumor. They heard about one person, and they heard about this person, and this is after searching everyone and going through all the databases that they had. They found this happy-go-lucky person, that this guy was always happy. He had no worries in the world. So they heard that this person was living in this city. So they all leave, and they send down all the royal contingent, the royal messengers to go down, and they knock on this person's door, and this person opens his humble abode, and all the king's messengers and entourage is standing there, and he's like, well, you must have the wrong address. You're looking for the wrong bed. He said, no, we heard that you are the person that we need. You have no worries in the world. You're a happy person, and guess what? Take us to your closet. We need your coat. You need my coat? What? I don't understand what's going on. Don't ask any questions. The king wants your coat. So you know what this person answered? He said, I just want to tell you something. I don't have a coat. Because if I had a coat, then I'd be worried about the coat. I'd be worried about this coat. Is it this year's, is it the right designer? Does everybody else in my neighborhood maybe has a better coat? Do I have this year's edition? Do I have this year's, is it this year's model? Is this coat, I have worries. If I had a coat, I'd have worries. I'd have to be worried about the coat. It's only because I own and I have nothing that I'm really happy. And because I have nothing to worry about. Say the Bali Musar, the more a person wants and the more a person has in Olam Hazeh, while you think you're you think you're making yourself happy, the less happy you're going to be after the fact, because you have more things to worry about. And Nesivos Shalom tells us that is why Sukkos is called Zaman Simchasenu. Nesivos Shalom brings from the Beis Avram that you know why Sukkos is exceedingly happy, and it's the Zaman Simchasenu. Not like other Yomim Tovim, where there's a mitzvah to be happy. Sukkos is Zaman Simchasenu, which means it's the time of happiness. The essence is happiness. You know why? He says in Nesivos Shalom from the Beis Avraham, because on Sukkos we leave the house. We leave your luxuries. We leave the house. We leave all the fancy furniture and everything. We leave it all behind. We leave your home with all its amenities and all that comes along with it. And we go out into a humble, I understand today people have some sukkahs that might be nicer than people's houses, but putting that aside, you're going outside, you're going out to your house, you're going out for one reason, to be alone with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the sukkah. And that's what makes you feel good when you go into the sukkah, not anything really physical. And we know the mitzvah of sukkah comes right after the Yomim Noraim, where hopefully every one of us, hopefully all of you put your priorities a little more straight. You know, hopefully at least at this time of the year, before it wears off, we just passed Rosh Hashanah, so to make tshuva, such a holy day of Yom Kippur yesterday, where everybody felt that closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hopefully we set our priorities a little bit more in order. And we have learned how vital it is to connect HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this very meaningful way. To be alone with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the sukkah and to block everything, to block all the noise and all the things that we run after and all the things that we do the entire year, to block that all out. And that is really the Iker Avodah of the Yom Tov of Sukkot. The Kabrina Rav, Schusi Hagan Aleinu, would always say, brought down here also in Nesivos Shalom, and he would always say, what a beautiful world we live in. What a beautiful world this is for those who aren't indulging in the world constantly. And what a dark world it is for those who are always want more and always chasing it. Suffice it to say, I'm translating, obviously the Kabrina Rav said it in Yiddish, but we're not going to do that over here for our general audience. We're going to translate, we're going to say this in English, but the point is a point well taken. It's a beautiful, beautiful world if we're not constantly running and chasing after more, and that we're never happy. And it's through the sukkah we could become genuinely happy. And now let's jump back, finish off, and explain with our question from the beginning about the Daled Minim. The Daled Minim, we know, represent different parts of the body. The 4 Daled Minim represent the esrog, your heart, the hadassim, your eyes, the lulav is your spine, and the aravis are your lips. These are all 4 parts of the body that want more taivas, to see more, to eat more. There's a lot of taivas that come along with all those 4 parts of the body. The mitzvah of the Daled Minim tells us to take all those things, all those taivas, all the things that we pursue, to put them together, to put all those hanois together and say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm shaking those, I'm holding those together, I'm giving this all over. Everything that I want, and everything that I do, and everything that I pursue is really for you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And my priorities are in order. The focus is godliness. The focus is wanting what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, and that's what we do with the Daled Minim. And once we do that, and we have our priorities straight, that is why the pasuk tells us, "Ulekachtem lochem," take for yourself, and right away, the end of the pasuk is usmachtem. Because if you take all those 4 things that represent the taivas of a person, and you now give them over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the biggest happiness in the world. We're the happiest people once we know that it's not about us. We're giving everything over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You give that and all of that over to Hashem. That's when you reach true happiness. And what we really want to hope is that everybody on this Yom Tov of Sukkot, that we're going to understand, we're going to stay with our priorities that we attained over the Yom Noraim, and we're going to understand what true happiness is. Try to sit for a few moments in the sukkah, take it all in, realizing that you're sitting with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you this opportunity to be alive, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are so many good things going on in your life. Don't focus on the small little things that you want, that you think you need. Let's focus on what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, and understand that the world is about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're giving everything to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You should all be zoiche to a Chag Sameach.